Hey there everyone, I'm Meteorologist Jennifer Lambers, and thanks for looking in on this Facebook Live. Just wanted to touch base a little bit on those storms that we are expecting today and into your Saturday, where they are strong to severe. And here at the Fox 10 studios, I'm already hearing some of that lightning once again outside. I'm hearing the thunder out there. And so maybe you are too. So far, it's been mainly active in case you are further towards our coastal counties. Southern Baldwin and Mobile, along with Pensacola, seeing most of the activity today. Inland spots starting to have a little lull in that, possibly even some clearing and some blue skies. But in case you heard a lot of those rumbles today, well, yes, it did move through earlier today, still for some of our southern portions. But also, did you get any hail? That's one thing we've been getting a lot of reports of so far is golf ball up to tennis ball size hail. That was in areas near Pascagoula, also areas near Dawes and Seven Hills, and then some other portions up in Clark County. So up near Thomasville, we've been getting some reports of hail there. So in case you saw any, you have video, you have pictures, send it our way. We love to have those, to share those, but also that is called ground verification, to where we can confirm that there was actually hail in that space. But we'll go ahead and touch more on that later. Look at our radar, and also we're going to time out some of these storms. Let's go ahead, jump right in and get to it. I wanted to go ahead and start off with that camera outside. Not the prettiest look out there to start off for your Friday. We're getting closer into the weekend. Gloomy look out there. And also I was seeing some strikes of lightning from that camera earlier too. So maybe we'll go ahead and catch one. But if not, just look out your window and I'm sure that you'll see one there soon. As we go ahead and take a look at our radar again, most of the activity going to be offshore so far. You can see all of those lightning strikes. There's an abundance of activity and also moisture out there. So that's that energy provided to a lot of these storms. And in case you are in the clearing, so right now, northern Mobile and Baldwin counties, Atmore, starting to feel that clearing. Looks nice maybe outside, just calm. Well, most everywhere is going to be seeing those storms heading on into tomorrow. As we look at alerts right now, luckily there's nothing out there. We had some severe thunderstorm warnings earlier today. All of that is starting to subside just slightly. But as we do see some of these storms starting to form, it could be clear now, but the abundance of that energy could start to form some of those just out of, how I like to say it, just like the thin air, how it just kind of forms there. But I'll have a closer look at that. But also I did see this. Deborah said hail last night at Chevron in Pascagoula, Mississippi. I was seeing quite a few pictures and videos from Pascagoula showing quite some large hail, and I did pick up on our radar too. So as we look in just a little bit closer right now, let's go ahead and storm track just a little bit, see what areas are seeing the most activity. Fairhope, right now you are about to start getting some heavy rainfall, and also this is starting to move closer, further inland for Mobile County. It's by La Battery, Grand Bay, starting to get a lot of that. In case you are going to be traveling on I-10 soon, we're starting to see that move through Theodore, Irvington, and also by La Battery. As we head on over towards the eastern shore, just south of Fairhope, and as you head closer towards Point Clear, Fish River, Pelican Point, starting to see some of that heavy rainfall active with this lightning. You're probably hearing a lot of that thunder so far. And then let's go ahead and move on down to Gulf Shores. A lot of vacationers, not going to be the best weather. Again, that lightning, make sure you go inside, stay inside. Don't go out on the beach, even if you just are trying to have fun. Again, it's just a little bit dangerous, especially with this lightning, and it could strike you. Don't want to be reporting on that, but Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, still starting to see a lot of this rainfall. It's been raining all morning. On the bright news, we could potentially see some clearing heading further on into the afternoon. Over in Pensacola, Navarre, Fort Walton Beach, I did see that we have someone watching Fort Walton Beach. We're still starting to see a lot of that heavy rain starting to subside on some of that thunder and lightning activity, looking better there. But again, everywhere else, going to be getting more of this heading further on into today. Don't be fooled in case you do see any of that clearing, as we are going to be seeing activity ramp up heading into the afternoon for Mobile and Baldwin counties, and also further into your Saturday. So I want to go ahead and talk about the severe risk right now, because this is what we're seeing for today. But this is today, but also it heads further on into tonight, and really this goes until 6 a.m. for your Saturday. Mainly we're going to be seeing that main line of storms, that squall line moving through. So we're starting to see that moderate risk zone for most of Mississippi, also northern portions of Louisiana and southern Arkansas. That's going to be that 4 out of 5 risk zone, pretty high. Biggest risk going to be hail and also winds. Although the tornado threat can't be ruled out of it, it's on the lower tier, but still something to be aware of, especially heading into the overnight hours. And that hail and that wind going to be the biggest threat with these storms. As we zoom in closer towards the Fox 10 viewing area, we're still seeing a lot of this included in Greene County along with Clark County. And what we're continuing to see is just some of our Fox 10 viewing counties within that moderate risk zone. Here in Mobile and Baldwin counties, we're still seeing that enhanced risk, so 3 out of 5. And then for the southern portions, that slight risk, that's going to be that yellow 2 out of 5. And then also that 1 out of 5 for Pensacola and southern Baldwin, including Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. Now, what I always say is storms, they don't follow lines. So if you're just barely outside of that risk zone, well, you still need to be weather aware because we're still starting to see a lot of these storms moving through, especially with that squall line early tomorrow morning. Going to bed tonight, make sure you have a way to get alerts. Make sure you have that sound on just in case you find yourself within one of these. But also, if today was your trash day, if you have anything outside that can blow away, go ahead, bring them inside, as those winds going to be a big risk, and we could see gusts up to 80 miles per hour. Just checking in on some of the comments here too. Lori said super dark and thundering in the Myrtle Grove area of Pensacola. I know we're seeing a lot of that activity further on down towards the coast. Here around the Fox 10 area and where the station is, just a little bit of the light gray clouds, so looking a bit better, but I have been hearing some of those rumbles of thunder. Now as we check in on your severe weather risk for tomorrow, this is still going to be continuing. So that enhanced risk, that 3 out of 5, this is where that starts at 6 a.m. So today that moderate risk goes until 6 a.m. and then this is where we restart pretty much heading into your Saturday. So that enhanced risk, that 3 out of 5, that's still including Mobile, Baldwin counties along with northwestern Florida. That's going to be that 6 a.m. to around 9 a.m. that we're starting to see some of those lines head on through. So just something to be aware of there, that we're still going to be seeing some of these storms heading into tomorrow. Not that moderate risk, but still those risk zones are there. Over the past 24 hours, this has been our rainfall. Southern Baldwin hasn't been getting as much, but Pensacola 1.5 inches of rain. Dauphin Island almost 3 inches over the past 24 hours. And then areas just south of Grand Bay, we're still starting to see that 2.5. So the coastal places, you probably feel like it's been raining for quite a while, but this just shows that it has. And heading further on into tomorrow, we're still going to be seeing these rainfall amounts bumping up. So in case you have a rain gauge, also send me your numbers. I love to see those, love to see people interested in the weather. And this also poses some of those flooding risks too. Make sure that your storm drains are cleared out. We're starting to see those oak trees, they grow new leaves. And so that's also when they start to shed these ones in the spring, their old leaves. So we're going to start to see some of those storm drains clogged up. Just make sure you're starting to clear some of those out. Don't burn them, but just start to clear some of them out just in case. Let's go ahead and time this out though, because we're starting off right now at noontime on your Friday. We're starting to see some of these scattered showers. Mainly most of the activity is near Panama City Beach. And then heading further on into this afternoon, we're still going to be seeing a lot of this scattered look to this. This is going to be a very convective atmosphere, a lot of energy. So you start to see just them appear. That's going to be what we're going to be seeing mainly for today. Not so much a line that you can look at your radar. So in case you pull out your radar and 1 p.m. you see that you're clear, well, you could start to see some of these storms form within the next 30 minutes. So just keep that in mind in case you are having any outdoor plans. Maybe clear right now, but that could change within the next 30 minutes to an hour. So these scattered storms still going to be continuing heading further on into this afternoon. Also, I want to say that this one is the HRRR model. That's the HRRR. It shows a little bit heavy. It makes these storms look very menacing, but it does do a good job on the timing and what I want to show you for what these storms are going to be looking like. Heading further on into the evening by 5 p.m., we're still starting to see a lot of this. So in case you're picking up your kids from school, in case you're driving home, have your commute, not only are we on Friday, we're in spring break, but also we have these storms. So if you can leave early, I do recommend it because I expect to see a lot of traffic incidents around this time as we're starting to see a lot of that heavy rainfall right in Mobile and Baldwin counties along I-10, I-65. So again, if you can head out early or maybe even hang around later, I would suggest doing so. Heading further on into tonight, this is where we're starting to see a little lull in that activity. Northwest Florida is still starting to see some of those rain showers and thunderstorms, but a little lull, and this is just going to be ahead of some of these spotty showers that we have ahead of that line. Now, some of these cells that you see ahead of this, it looks spotty in Mobile County. These are some that could potentially contain some of those tornadoes or those gusty winds. but the main portion is going to be within the squall line. First portion of it expected to move through around 4 a.m. so early for your Saturday. It's going to be overnight hours, but the biggest portion is going to be that squall line moving into our inland counties around 6 a.m. So this is going to be just before sunrise that we're seeing this line move on through, continuing to push through closer to around 6 and 7. So it's going to be fast moving, but within this line, gusts up to 80 miles per hour are possible. So that's why I say bring anything inside. These are damaging winds that we could see. In case you have trees or anything that could potentially pose a risk, just keep that in mind, as winds are going to be the biggest portion with this. Especially what I want to point out with it is the look. Here, I'll even. That right there is also what we want to keep an eye on, is bowing. It's the bowing structure. It looks a little bit like a C, and that right there has the potential to have those gusty winds, also tornadoes embedded with it, and hail. Still a very big risk heading further on into tomorrow. So that bowing structure is definitely something to keep an eye on when our futurecast is showing it just ahead of us. So that's why our risk zones are so high with it. And so that squall line heading further on through, this is going to be 7 a.m., even moving through Pensacola. So far, this futurecast, every run it updates, it has it moving through even further and faster. So within an hour, moving through almost the entire Fox 10 viewing area. We'll continue to keep you updated on this. It's going to be me tomorrow morning, along with meteorologist Michael White, in studio, tracking this as it moves through. And also Fox 10 News begins at 7 a.m. That's when we'll be on the air talking about it, unless we do have to cut in earlier for it too. But just want to go ahead, point out the shape of that, and also why we're continuing to keep an eye on it. As we make our way further throughout the morning, this is going to be by 8 a.m. The biggest portion that we need to watch is going to be that leading edge. Anything behind it is just going to be the thunder, the lightning, and the heavy rain. But those gusty winds, the embedded tornadoes, that main risk is all going to be on that leading line of it. So anything behind it tends to be a little bit better, but again, that flooding risk still going to be in play there. In case you do have Saturday afternoon plans, though, they're looking good. So is your Sunday. We start to see our conditions getting a lot better, less deterioration behind it. And so any afternoon plans, we could potentially even see some of those peaks of sunshine, just some scattered showers lingering behind in some places, but those will be very hit or miss. For your full severe impacts, wind, hail, those are going to be the biggest things for the next 24 hours for today's storms and tomorrow's storms. Today's storms is mainly going to be that hail threat. Tomorrow is going to be the wind. Tornado risk can't be ruled out. Make sure you have a way to get those alerts. The Fox 10 News app downloaded. I have about 8 different weather apps on my phone. All of them send different alerts. That's highly something that I recommend too, because some send them better, and also they'll just continue to keep you updated, and also a good way to wake you up if your phone just continuously keeps updating with those. Flooding, also a big risk. So let's go ahead and look at the rain futurecast. This one is showing heavy on our inland county, showing over 4 inches of rainfall for Chatham and Jackson and Monroeville by the time we make it to noontime tomorrow. As we head closer towards Citronelle, we're starting to see those 3 inches along with Bay Minette, and closer towards the coast, expecting to pick up another inch of rain. Now, it doesn't seem like much for that inch of rain, but also you have to keep in mind that Dauphin Island has already seen about 3 inches of rainfall, so they will get close to that 4-inch marker as by the time we make it to noontime for your Saturday. Today, peak wind gusts about 30 miles per hour as you get closer towards Pensacola here in Mobile, Crestview, and also Evergreen, starting to see gusts up to 20-25 miles per hour. It's not as bad, but we will start to see those numbers rise heading further into your Saturday, especially, again, keep that in mind, gusts up to 80 miles per hour possible within that squall line. For your full 10-day outlook, your Sunday starts to look a lot better. We're still continuing to stay warm across the Gulf Coast, and that'll continue by the time we make it to Monday. And even midweek, we start to see more of those showers and thunderstorms move on in, but staying near above or near average. So we start to see more of that sunshine emerging, but by midweek, we start to introduce more of those thunderstorms and those rain showers. So I want to go ahead, see what other questions or comments. Also, in case you did not catch this Facebook live and you're watching it since I've already been here, feel free to comment any questions. I do tend to go back throughout the day just to see if you do have any questions that I can answer for you. But I want to say hello to Brenda watching from Loosedale, Sherry watching from Citronelle, Megan, who said good afternoon, it's storming off of Burma Road, Danielle watching from Pensacola, Tom watching from Crichton, Sharon watching from Shalimar, Nancy from Pensacola, hello, Brooke from McIntosh, Bob from Sims, Dwayne from Milry, Glenda from Gulf Shores, Edna, hello. Oh, we have Jeannie from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Hopefully you can come vacation down here when it's a lot better. And then Jennifer says, I hope everyone will be safe on the roads today and tonight and tomorrow, and I really hope that too. Again, if you don't have to head out, or if you have the opportunity to head out early from work around 5 p.m., I do recommend doing so. We're going to be having heavy rain. It's Friday. We have spring breakers. A lot of folks going on vacation. Even when it's clear weather, we always see the Wallace Tunnel tend to jam up around this time. I know because I always have to travel through it around rush hour as I do live across the bay. So in case you can head out early, I do recommend going that route. Carol's watching, John from Fort Walton Beach, Debbie from Chatham, Judy from Bruton, and then hello to Mike too. So and then hello Carol, she was giving a little wave emoji. So thank you everyone for watching today. Again, do stay weather aware. Make sure you have that Fox 10 app downloaded. Fox 10 News at 4, 5, 9, and 10 p.m. will be on for this evening. Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith will be in here tracking anything in case anything pops up. Also, I do want to remind you that in case there is a warning, we will go into programming, but also we will be live streaming on YouTube and Facebook for any of those warnings as well. I wish everyone a fantastic Friday, a good weekend. We'll continue to keep you updated with this. And then also if you get that Fox 10 app, there is live radar on it too, to where you can keep track. So thanks everyone, and I wish you a fantastic day.